Disco Elysium is the best book I ever played, it's the best game I ever read, it's an award-winning interactive novel with such a strong narrative that's worthy of literary analysis, and I'm going to attempt at what I'm going to call a book review of this game. There's going to be loads of spoilers in this video, so if you do want to play the game, I advise you to return later. Disco Elysium is a story about two cops solving a mysterious hanging in a rundown town. But it's really a story about one cop recovering from a psychologically traumatic past. The power of this story is clear, as many players online have said it's helped them finally kick an addiction that they've had for a long time or to move on from a really bad life event. Disco Elysium begins and ends with the protagonist, Harry Dubois, asking, "Who am I?" At the beginning to himself and Klasia, at the end to the Phasmid and Jean. The game is asking you to relate to the questions of this wreck of a man and to be motivated to find solace in his recovery. We are asking the same question ourselves when we play this game. If you fail in Disco Elysium, it's because the protagonist Harry Dubois loses his mind or loses his life. When you complete the game, Harry shows optimism in his ability to live as a cop and without his ex-fiancée, Dora. Dora was an arts teacher who was engaged to Harry 6 years before the game's beginning, and when Harry becomes a cop, they become unhappy, poor, and divorce. In this game, you help Harry Dubois recover from his divorce in 3 ways: by believing in his ability as a cop, kicking his addictions, and becoming friends with either Kim or Kuno. The setting and the characters are tightly designed to support this narrative. The story is set in Martinaise in the state of Revachol, and in a post-communist era, deconstructionism through Mazovian socioeconomics and the corruption of the former king to drugs has led to many traditions waning in Martinaise. Martinaise is currently a no man's land with no clear political ruler and organized based on union principles rather than a legal social system. In addition to this, a paranormal event called the Pale is also causing people in this part of the world to lose their memory. The lack of memory, culture, or legal order in Martinaise reflect Harry's traumatic state of mind. Harry's ruin is also clearly a great plot device for a detective narrative, as we learn things with the detective and have reason to doubt and suspect the main character's involvement with the crime itself. In film noir detective narratives, every character is psychologically flawed, and this is also the case for Disco Elysium, but in a subtly different way. Something I've noticed is that all the men are damaged by something different, and all the women are running from someone. Each male character is a fragment of Harry's shattered past, and each woman resembles a part of Dora leaving him. Gart is a man ruined by longing, Kim is a man ruined by his job, Kuno is a young man ruined by his family, Measurehead is a man ruined by racism, René is a man ruined by fascism, Titus is a man ruined by temper, the Deserter is a man ruined by war. And for the women, Klasia is a woman running from the police, Ruby is a woman running from a policeman, Joyce is a woman running from an armed shooter. The characters are symbolic of different perspectives of Harry and Dora's traumatic separation. So that covers the game's story, but now to explain the ending, we need to talk more about Kim and Kuno, the most important NPCs in the game. Kim's role in Disco Elysium is to reflect Harry's failing career. Kim hates police politics, hates his previous pinball mission, and wishes he was a pilot, except his eyesight prevented him from doing it, much like it prevents him from shooting the body down at the crime scene. When Harry completes the game with Kim, it symbolizes Harry recovering from his past by maturing as a police officer. While the Kim ending is the most popular and common ending to the game, I actually think this is inferior to the Kuno ending in the game. The Kim ending solidifies Harry's role in his career as a policeman, but it doesn't clearly heal his inability to have a family. It's not clear that Kim will remain involved in Harry's life after the story ends, and so this feels like Harry has reset, but not fully recovered from his past. By contrast, Kuno's role in Disco Elysium is reflecting Harry's failing family life. Kuno's mother is gone, his dad is basically dead, and Kuno S holds him kind of hostage. When Harry completes the game with Kuno, it symbolizes Harry recovering from his past by maturing as a father figure. I believe the Kuno ending fits best because it feels like Harry is adopting Kuno and therefore correcting for his failing family life. Moreover, Kuno's employment secures Harry's position in his own precinct as much as Kim's reassurance would, but it also gives him someone to look after, to provide personal structure that he also needs in his life. While Harry is still heartbroken over Dora, he at least has rescued a similarly doomed individual and has a family and some hope now. To conclude with the words of the poet and psychiatrist R.D. Laing, madness need not be all breakdown, it may also be breakthrough. And Disco Elysium presents a narrative where a man heals his trauma by embracing the chaos of a complex murder mystery. The solution is not always straightforward, but if you trust in others and never forget to ask yourself, who am I? You will find recovery.